preparing to live stream the meeting. I might have to pull the chat up on my phone. I might not. I might be able to. All right. So now we are live now, but I just need to share it. Copy.
I'll have to open the chat here.
Yeah.
Ooh, here it is.
All right. Paste this here. Yep. And send message. To 92 people. If you guys are watching and you want to get this, look in the description. You text, I think 31996 to Gently Led, and then you can be on the list to get a text message when we go live. So let me go over here. Okay, so I got the chat pulled up. Oh, there we got some people. Celine, Amy, and Luis are on.
Where do I see the chat?
Now, there is no chat in the Zoom, but you'll have to pull up YouTube. Pull up YouTube.
Oh, I see.
Oh, look at that. Celine's in Orlando. You should go visit Pastor Cole's church.
Is she? Oh, yeah. Come visit.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I know this always takes a minute to get set up, but it allows everyone to join. So that's good. Hey, Sarah. Okay.
Trying to pull up the YouTube then?
Yep. You can get it.
Over there.
Pull up the YouTube. All right. I'm glad the chat's working. Sometimes it takes a minute for the chat to start working. Yep. You'll just have to pause it so we don't get any feedback. Okay. Hello, Angela. Angela said, did you see that? Mrs. Mendez is such an encouragement to my soul with her happy personality.
Oh, thank you.
Followed you on not Facebook. I thought it was YouTube because I was following your guys' videos before you even got pregnant and had a baby. Because I remember you would like take trips and then you go like different places and sing and stuff and like post.
Oh yeah.
I was following back then, so I don't know why I wasn't when I went.
Well, that was on Facebook though. It was on YouTube, but we did a lot on Facebook Live.
Okay.
And then now I sit in the back with Ezra, so I used to put it like on the passenger seat on the top. So I think we'll have to work something out, but we haven't done it in a minute.
Just singing in there with you. So, all right. Hello, Ashley. All right, guys. So obviously you can see I have my guest with me, Mrs. Raquel. Almost said
yes.
Raquel Mendez. And you want to just go, I don't know, give a little bit of your testimony. Tell us a little bit about you. You can give us your salvation testimony too if you want. But yeah, just tell us a little bit about you, what got you to this point, and then we'll kind of go into it.
Yeah, so I'm Raquel. I have like a social media blog called Pure Fun Life, and I share on homemaking, motherhood, and just lifestyle things as well. And I was raised Christian, but it wasn't until my husband gave me the gospel and really confirmed everything for me that I was saved. And then I go to Revival Baptist Church here in Orlando. And my husband and I have one child named Ezra, a little boy. And yeah.
So did your husband give you the gospel when, like before you guys were dating? How did that happen? When did he give you the gospel?
Yeah, when we were dating, we went to church together, and that's how we met. And he gave me the gospel then. And, we just came from backgrounds where we were Christian, but we were Pentecostal initially. So we were already dating thinking like, we're saved. But then it was like, wait a second, just kidding. We're not saved. So once he figured it out, like, okay, we're saved now, then he saved. Then he spoke to me about it. And then we really confirmed everything like, hey, once saved, always saved, and only believe, just because, again, our background was more Pentecostal, so they believe in works and all that. So
right, exactly. That's cool. You're like, because I just had Mrs. Chinello on too, and they used to be Pentecostal as well. So, and it was kind of the same thing, like works or whatever. So, So what made you decide? I love, by the way, I'm going to put a link to her blog and YouTube channel and all that in the description once we're done, but you'll have to check her out. She is a wealth of information when it comes to just like cloth diapering. I know you've done things on pumping exclusively, which I would love to have you on a show eventually to kind of do that too, because I know it's not really something that's talked about a lot, but there are a lot of moms now that, you know, more and more are going that route of just exclusively pumping. So when I had Hannah and I had all those problems at the beginning, I thought that was going to be my life for the first year and a half, would be pumping exclusively. Luckily, we got it all worked out, and now she wanted to take a bottle. But for the first couple months, I did do a lot of pumping. So definitely. But all right, so let me just keep up with the chat. Yeah, you guys, as we're talking about these subjects, please put questions, if you have any questions, in the chat for Raquel. Raquel, please put them in the chat. Oh, there you go. There's your Pure Fun Life. Good idea. So
yeah,
someone commented.
I logged into Louise, so I was like, "Oh, it's me."
Someone commented. So go subscribe to that, guys, if you want a lot more videos on more along this line of, you know, just being a housewife. So what got you into natural living?
Yeah, so I was raised just, you know, using conventional cleaning products. And I used to help my mom and my family. We did like Saturday cleaning days. And I remember there was one time like we had cleaned the bathroom with Comet. It's like that powder you put in the tub. And I had closed the door and I was just like, all right, whatever. And my mom was like, you can't do that. That's like so strong. Like that could be really bad respiratory wise. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that was just like a moment I stuck in my pocket, so to speak. And then once I got married and, you know, Luis and I were actually purchasing the cleaning products and, you know, thinking about our home and stuff, I was like, wow, this stuff is really bad for you. And, you know, I'm cleaning with it. And then we're, you know, going to raise a family. And, you know, my son, he's going to be developing and everything with it. Or at the time, I didn't have a son, but just saying like, like our children will be like developing around this environment. And I'm like, I need to, you know, look into natural routes about this. And so that's where, you know, I got passionate about, you know, I really want to learn more about natural living and cleaning and really go that route for my family, for my health.
That's good. This is not my forte. I'm really bad about this because I just like grab a jar of Fabuloso and, you know, call it a day. So I'm not really into the natural cleaning. I would like to be more so. So I am learning along with all you ladies tonight. I'm learning. I've gone through like spurts. Like sometimes I'll do like the whole vinegar baking soda route for a while, and then I don't know, I'm just like grab the Fabuloso again. So I'm interested in really learning. And I've noticed too, anytime I do clean with bleach, I get a headache. So I've always kind of thought about that. Like back behind my ears right here, it always hurts for some reason. I don't know why that is, but I don't know. I always get a headache. So that's something to keep in mind. So now, do you try to be completely natural in all areas of your life, or is it just mainly with like cleaners, or do you do with eating as well?
Yeah, so I do with cleaners and then also with eating. I've actually really gotten into ferments recently. And so just working on like, hey, things that like you could buy probiotic capsules at the store, but it's like, if I can make ferments and this is, you know, from the vegetables, the good bacteria is already, you know, proliferating in there, and I can have that gut health for my family, then I'm going to go for it. And it's a lot easier than I thought. And even like we get raw milk as well. And the raw milk, at least in our area, the lady sells it for $4 for a half gallon, which to me, I'm like, I was already trying to get organic milk at the store. And this is, I think it's either the same or like $1 less. And, you know, you get all those enzymes and all those good bacteria that you wouldn't get otherwise. And so just trying to switch things little by little, even in eating. I know before I used to think that I was eating really healthy and, you know, just always working on like losing weight and being healthy. And I was like, wait a second, there's all these hidden sugars in pasta and all these like really bad ingredients that you didn't know. That's raw milk. That's fine. So yeah, I remember thinking, I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. I really should learn how to make things from scratch a little better. Cause you think it's like, oh, I'm getting this pasta sauce at the store. Oh, it's really fine. But there's so much hidden things in there that if you just make it at home, it's so much better. And yeah, just, I mean, everything, even like cookware. I mean, when we first got married, we used what we had. Okay. So like if people gave us, different pots and pans, they kind of give you everything in your registry and stuff. We had, nonstick pans. And it wasn't until recently that I actually got into cast iron. I don't know if you use cast iron, but I
Mhm.
mean, it's the stuff now. Like at first I was like, this is crazy. And now I'm like, these are my friends, cast iron. I love it. But, I was intimidated and it was something different. But, you know, cooking on that nonstick and then the things are like chipping off into your food. I mean, it's not the way to go.
So, and we do the raw milk. We pay a lot less than you. We only pay, what is it, $3 a gallon? No, $6 a gallon, $3 a half gallon.
Okay.
So about the same. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So $3 a half gallon. So yeah, um, and I've done that now for 8 years, something like that, a long time. We've done raw milk a long time, and my kids are super healthy. So I do think that tends to play into it as well. And I also want to try my hand at, we have a French lady in our church, and she gave me a ferment to do like this, it's like clabber. Have you ever heard of that? Like you use it with the raw milk. It's like a thick yogurty type
Oh, milk kefir. I have milk kefir.
fur, but she called it clabber.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, put it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Nicole, you probably would because you're watching.
Ooh.
But it's like a thick French yogurt, but you basically let it ferment on the counter all night, and then it's like a thick. I don't know. It was pretty good though. I can eat that. Like if I don't think about things too much, I can eat it. But I used to do kefir, so I do have healthy bones in my body. Not been taking the time with the craziness of my life to do it because it does take some time to do this stuff, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, and just having like, planning, like I order our castle soap and stuff like that from Amazon, but I have it always on hand. And but yeah, but I'd love to learn about that ferment. My Pinterest board now, Pinterest already knows me because it's always showing me new ferments. And I'm like, I need to do that one, but I already have so many going. I'm like, I need to calm down. So I just get really excited. Have you heard of Kavaz?
No, what's that?
So Kavaz is a fermented probiotic drink using beets, and you can do it just as is, but it's a bit earthy. So I actually got some beets that I'm going to try it with soon, and it sounds wild, but if you put the beets, some onion and cabbage, then it comes out like it neutralizes all the flavor, and it's like a LaCroix, but natural, for real, not flavors, like.
You do kombucha too then?
So I tried to do kombucha recently and it died, but I'm getting a new SCOBY tomorrow. So if anyone has kombucha tips, let me know because I was really devastated. But I have water kefir going. It's, similar, but I got mold. I don't know what happened.
I'm not a huge kombucha fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it has a little bit of zing because it's got a little bit of alcohol content in it. And I've never ever had alcohol my whole life, but I imagined if that's what alcohol would taste like and it grosses me out. I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't know.
You can try the pineapple kombucha, is really good.
That might be okay. Now, when I was putting fruit into it for a while, it was livable. Like I would let it seep again for another day with like blueberries and strawberries and stuff in it, and then I could choke it down. But it reminds me of, I don't know. I think you either love it or hate it. I'm not a big fan. So
You can try water kefir. It's different. It's like sugar water with the kefir grain. So maybe I haven't had it yet, but I'm making it now. So maybe it won't be, I don't know, as tangy. And I'm hopeful because it's like, I don't know if I'm going to convince Ezra to try kombucha, but I'm trying to integrate it little by little. Like,
yeah, I don't know if you could. Now, back, my mom does water kefir all the time. When I was doing kefir a long time ago, my kids were all small and I was on a very limited budget. And one way that I could make just a nice snack for them was I would do the milk kefir and I would make smoothies out of it. So I would put like spinach in it and then a bunch of frozen fruit and a little bit of apple juice, and they loved it. So that was a good way to keep their gut healthy. Back then I need to do it again, but I don't know. You're gonna inspire me.
Oh, I hope so. I'll look forward to your posts with milk kefir.
All my kefir and my ferments. Now, do you do gardening?
Yes, we have our garden outside, a bunch of different, we have like cilantro, chai chili pepper. We have 4 different types of banana trees. And we also have chickens and ducks at the moment. So it's a lot of fun around here. Azur definitely loves it.
Yeah, I bet he does because I would love chickens, but the McMurtries aren't very good at keeping animals alive. So
Have you ever had any kind of animal like that outside? No.
no, we've never had chickens. We've had cats and dogs. No, we've never had a dog. My husband put his foot down about dogs. We've never had a dog, but we've had cats, and they like always run away or get hurt.
Aww.
We're not good with animals, but I would love to do the chickens. So, when it comes to cleaners, let's go over that. Let's go over some natural things that you can use, for some of this stuff. So, obviously, you have your ferments for eating and different things like that. Back to the eating though, real quickly. Do you cook most of your food from scratch?
Yeah, I cook most of our stuff from scratch. I just recently got like a good pasta sauce down too, because, you know, it's a work in progress, right? I had tried to do like a cauliflower Alfredo sauce and it was a no, but I kept going until now I have a really good one. And there's a lady from my church named Michelle, and she does like marinara sauce at home. And so I'm so inspired by the ladies at my church all the time, just like talking about like what ferments they have going on or what sauces they're making. And so I know she gave me like some tips on it on Sunday, so I'll be able to apply those. But she lets her marinara sauce go all day, and so it like develops the flavor. So I was like, I need to give that a go because I only put it for a little bit, but I think that's really good. Her dad has like an Italian background, so I'm always on YouTube watching like those Italian grandmas or Mexican grandmas, anything. I'm like, ooh, the grandmas. So, but yeah, I try to do everything from scratch. I make bone broth. I don't know if you made that's pretty easy to make.
I've never made it. I've looked into it, but I've never. That's where you just like you take up the bunch of bones and let it cook for a while, don't you?
Yeah. Do you have an Instant Pot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I just save the bones from like if I make a whole chicken or anything like that, I save the bones in my freezer. And then the peels of garlic or carrot ends, anything like that, it's like in a bag in the freezer, a gallon bag. And then whenever I have enough accumulated, I just put it in my Instant Pot and I just set it. I want to say I do 4 hours. I let it naturally release and I do another 4 hours. And you just add water to the top and then a little bit of apple cider vinegar because it extracts the nutrients from the bones. And that's it. By the next morning, you have bone broth, and it's just really nice to add to soups. Some people consume it as a drink. I typically just like I'll add it to rice or anything like that, like use it with things. But yeah, and it's really nice. But if you don't have time for it, it's nice because you can just freeze it. And sometimes I'll make a whole bunch because I've had it accumulated. But it's really good for you though.
Yeah, my mom drinks bone broth every day. She gets this flavor called it's like a caramel and like this caramel flavor, and she drinks.
Okay.
It always grosses me out, but she says it's really good. So, okay.
It's like it's soup broth. I mean, that's what it tastes like. You could also do just like a veggie scrap broth if it's just veggie, but I do mine unsalted. You could add salt to it, but that's all it tastes like. It doesn't taste too bad, but the caramel, I don't know. Maybe I'd have to look into that.
Nicole said she gave me a bunch of good bones in my beef. I bought a fourth of a cow. Nicole, so I have some good bones. Yeah, I need to. I know Abby's been looking into it too because it helps your gut, doesn't it? Doesn't it help your gut?
Yeah, the collagen in it, it's really good. And I mean, there's like all this kind of stuff. I actually have, hold on, I'll show you. I have some books. I got this book from the library recently, Nourishing Traditions. I don't know if you've heard about it. Yeah, so they have a broth edition. And it talks about like different types of bone broth to make. So I'm so excited to read it because, I just make the, simple one, but it has all kind of herb and combinations and it'll tell you what it does. I'm like, ooh, fancy. So
tell us what's behind you in some of your jars.
Oh, so in our jars, we have like, I think we have these are pigeon peas. They're called gandules in Spanish, but these are from our plants outside. We have tea. We have more peas. We have lentils. These are cinnamon sticks. I make like a pineapple juice in my Instant Pot with cinnamon sticks. We have some popcorn, and these are lemons we dehydrated. That's another thing you can do. Yeah, and it looks so pretty. And we have our eggs. That's a natural bug spray on the window. So yeah, lots of different things, and I'm still adding some. And I want to say that these half-gallon jars, I don't know if you've seen that at Walmart, but they're like $15 for 6 of them. And I'm like, well, that's wild, but you know, whatever. And I was at the thrift one day, and they had 5 packs of them, just new, and they were $7 each.
Oh,
So
wow.
they came home. So I was like, what is this? So you'd be surprised what you find at the thrift store. They were new. I was like, oh, and all like the canning ladies in the store, like they were like, where'd you get those? And so I've even met some ladies like at the store who were like, I'm into canning. Here's my number. Tell me when you need help. So another reason to go thrifting. Just so many.
I love thrifting. That is one of my definite things I love to do. So no, because I think my daughter just bought 6 of them for me, because that's what we use our raw milk for, and then we just
Okay.
and it was like $13. So yeah, they're pricey.
Oh, okay.
Very pricey. So let's go into cleaners. Sorry, I know we got back on this.
That's okay.
Okay, so cleaners. What kind of cleaners do you use in your home?
Yeah, so I use for our floor, we have hard floor, so I don't typically like put like a whole bunch of water in there unless it's in my kitchen because we have tile. So I use a combination of Castile soap, some rubbing alcohol, water, and then some essential oils. And then for our dishes, I actually use, it's heavy, but this is, you can get this off Amazon. It's from the same company, Dr. Bronner's. It's called Salsuds. So it's a biodegradable cleaner, so it's non-toxic, good stuff. But I just dilute this with some water in like an old dish soap jar. And then I use this for my dishes. So this is all I use. And if I'm feeling wild, I'll put some lemon essential in there. But I don't know. I just keep it plain sometimes. But I found that the Castile soap by itself kind of left like a film on my dishes, which wasn't the best. But this one works great. And I don't remember how much it is right now, but I want to say it's like, I don't know, $30, $40 on Amazon. But these things, it's just like Castile soap where it lasts you like months. So it's, especially if you dilute it. So I find that it's really worth it. It's not costing me anything, you know, extra in terms of doing that. And then for my hand soap, I got these glass containers on Amazon as well. And you just put Castile soap, water, you leave some space and some essential oil, and then that's it. It comes out foaming hand soap. Yeah. Or you can use an old one if you have one. I didn't have one, so I got one. But and it's really easy. I mean, I just refill it, you know, every once in a while. But we have 2 in our house. We have one in the kitchen because we always go out in and out, and then one in our bathroom. And I feel like they last a pretty long time too because it foams it. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Get your Castile soap.
Amazon as well. Yeah, and I get a big gallon one. So, and I mean, I try to just honestly see what's cheapest. I try to go for Dr. Bronner's, but recently, I don't know what the brand is I got, but it was a good quality and it was a little bit cheaper. And I was like, all right. So I just get the same thing, like a gallon container, and then it lasts me like a really long time. So
that's a good idea. I think I'll have to keep that in mind, especially with the hand soap, because my kids go through it so fast. You know, they go through it so quickly. So
what? Yeah, and especially like, oh, sorry.
No. What?
Oh, and especially like Ezra's like, you know, he's always building his immune system outside with the chickens and ducks. I mean, so, you know, when he's going to eat like a snack, I'm always having him wash his hands. So, you know, I'm just always like, I don't know if I use like whatever kind of like soap, like he's eating off of that. So he's, you know, consuming that as well. So for me, I'm like, he can put however much of this he wants, and, you know, it's good. He can do whatever with it. And I think for me too, like, sometimes I think people can be partially into natural living. Like it'll be like, oh, you know, I'm anti-vax, or, you know, I want this or whatever. But then, you know, we use cleaners that it's like, this could be bad for your respiratory system. This could cause infertility. Like, I don't want that. So, and even like air fresheners, it's so easy. Like I get these, let me see if I have them. This one's empty, but just to show you, you can get these off of Amazon too, like these little amber glass bottles, or use one you got. And you just put water, witch hazel, and an essential oil. That's it. Air freshener, you know, non-toxic. So it's so easy. It does take a little bit of planning or like some research time as well, but I try to, like, whenever I'm doing dishes or anything like that, that's my time. I'm, you know, listening to a podcast, or I'm, you know, listening to a YouTube video on natural living, and just always trying to consume content like that so I can pick up good things.
Right.
So
that's a good idea. Sarah asked, do you have to shake the hand soap to keep it blended? Mrs. Turner asked.
do I have to, hold on.
Shake the hand soap to keep it blended.
Oh, do I have to shake the, I just thought, no. I mean, sometimes it does, you can't really see it, but sometimes it does accumulate a little bit on the bottom, but it mostly mixes together. But I don't ever have to just, hey, I'm going to use soap. It just, I think the way the bottle spout or whatever it is, it just takes from the bottom. So I don't ever have to worry about it. Yeah.
Do you feel like the soap is less harsh on the skin?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot less harsh. Actually, like if I go to, like, let's say my mom's house and she just has regular dish soap, or like regular hand washing soap, I can feel the difference. I'm like, oh, this isn't my, you know, and you're like helping out, and you're like, oh, it's not my house, but oh, you know, you can feel the difference on your hand. Even my hands are like super scented when I wash my hands there. And, you know, I'm just used to, like, most of my things, I like to keep it unscented or with essential oils, just like a subtle thing. Me personally, it's okay if you like a lot of essential oil scents, but I don't even like having like a lot, like really, really scented. I just like, you know, I like opening my door, getting natural air, just breezing through. So I definitely noticed the difference. And so I'm thankful that we've discovered this, because I thought it'd be a lot harder.
Yeah. Where do you go to research these things?
So I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I read books. Like I said, I talked to the ladies at my church. Hold on, I made some notes here on researching things. Hoopla is a great resource. I'm sure you've heard about it, maybe, but it's connected to your library card.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And so you can find a lot of audiobooks on there, or ebooks, or even cookbooks. You know, I think the Magnolia one's on there. A lot of good things that you can get on there. I also like to go on Facebook groups. So when I first started fermenting, I just joined a lot of fermenting groups, and then I kind of picked my favorites from there. But just to kind of, you know, be able to use that as a search engine, like within the groups,
Right.
just because it's people actually writing. And so when my kombucha, I was like, man, this kombucha is going to give up the ghost. It's not making it. So I had like researched in the group. I'm like, oh, that is me. And like, it looked like my kombucha, and I was like, oh, it's not going to make it. But I still posted. And then it's other people who, like, this is what they do. They already know. They're like, yeah, it's not. But I find that I can really learn from people's experience, just it popping up on my feed, or, you know, more ferment ideas. And that's what I like to keep, like, even on Instagram, like, you know, trying to keep accounts that really like inspire me, and, you know, using my time wisely. But when I'm on there, it's like, oh, wow, you know, that's a great idea. Or, you know, liking certain things. So the algorithm shows me, like, yes, show me homemaking things. So I'm trying to think of.
That's probably why, like, so much of my Instagram feed is music related.
Oh.
Music and different things like that. You know, we all have our little hobby horses that we like. So
yeah, that's really cool though. I mean, it shows you a lot of music. So, well, once you start liking a few things or saving a few things, it could change whatever you like. But I think it's really great. I'd be able to connect with other homemakers I wouldn't have known otherwise, but just like seeing on there, like maybe related people. And and then another thing is, like, you know, I like to use like natural living and stuff to connect with my family. So, you know, not every like lady in my family is a homemaker. I'm actually the only one right now, like this, you know, stay-at-home mom, homemaker. You know, I want to have lots of kids, all that. And so I try to use like, natural living to connect us. Like I recently talked to my aunt about cast iron, and I didn't even know she has this huge collection of cast iron pans. And then when we were, because the gandules, they come in like the little pods, so you're taking them out. And when I was doing that, I had talked to my grandma about it. She's like, yeah, when your aunts and your mom were little, we used to do that. And so it was like, really old timey thing. Like everyone did it, because they didn't have that option at the store. And so I just was like, well, let me just FaceTime. I just took turns with everyone. And I'm like, look what we're doing. And I think another thing I love about natural living is like, I can really connect with, my family on things like that and be like, hey, did you know this? And a lot of times they'll know, like, my aunt was telling me with the pigeon peas, you can do some kind of tea with the leaves. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't even know. But, instead of talking about things that we don't connect on, and we'll make those stances when it's appropriate, we just, hey, I'm making this on my cast iron, or oh, I'm baking this bread. And, so I think it's so exciting, like doing that. So
it's very exciting. So yes, we're going to get into laundry soap because you do. Let's see. We have it under baby products. No, what do you make your own laundry soap?
Yeah, I do. We make a powdered laundry soap. So it uses baking soda, washing soda, the Castile soap bars, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else. But basically we blend it all together. And I mean, this lasts us like the whole year. So first it like saves us a lot of money. But then for cloth diapering, I use 7th generation. It's just a little bit different with, what you're using it for. So you want to use something that's like a little different with detergent, but I try to use the most natural I can. And we use sun bleaching. I don't use any like bleach. So just letting things out in the sun, and it's amazing. I mean, stains just come right off. When I first started cloth diapering, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they say these stains are coming off, but I could just be that 1%, like I was shocked it really works. So I think that's neat too. Like even getting into cloth diapering, it's like, because I cloth diaper, now I have more laundry knowledge than I would have before. So just developing that like homemaker skill, because I didn't know we had hard water before that, like it wouldn't have been relevant. So it kind of helped me with, other things. And but yeah, and that's it. You can also use like, I know people use like wool dryer balls and things like that for their dryers. I just dry them just regular. I don't know, just dry them. And then if not, we have like a drying rack as well that will dry them out in the sun. And I think it looks charming too. I don't know, just having some clothes out there, some diapers, and the garden, the chickens just walking around. I don't know. It's just cute.
I want to come to your house and see it.
Oh yes, come.
It's over. Yes, I definitely want to see it. Okay, so this is like so overwhelming to me because I feel like, I mean, you've pretty much switched over in every area, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to do every area that I can. I think I only have, just little things. Like I have like a soup ladle that's still plastic, and I'm like, ooh, I'm on the lookout at a thrift for a stainless steel soup ladle, like little things like that. But every area I'm really trying just do as natural as possible.
And then Chanello asked, what do you do in the winter when you can't hang stuff outside? But do you even have winter?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in Florida, so there's not a lot of cold here, but things will really dry inside. I mean, it might take a little bit longer, but just with a little bit of planning, it's not so bad. Like I have enough cloth diapers in my stash where I could just leave it there, and I have like a setup in my dining room, and it'll dry for some of them even just overnight, but maybe a day and a half, and that's it. So it doesn't take too long. And also when you take clothes out of the dryer, you know how typically it's like tumbling around. Well, when you're going to air dry them, I find that when I did my research, if you shake them, I know it seems small, but when you shake them, it just helps it to be a little bit softer, and that helps somehow with the drying, but they don't end up as stiff as well. So yeah.
I don't like air dried clothes, particularly because it is stiff.
Yeah.
I like the softness in a dryer. So but I could see where you would need to sun dry diapers a lot. So are you pretty much able to dry them year round then, outside in the sun if you need to?
Yeah. Diapers for sure. I mean, when we first moved here, we didn't have a dryer. We hadn't gotten it at that time, and it wasn't like a priority. And I had done all our clothes just drying out in the sun, and it wasn't so bad. But then when we did have a dryer, I do use it for just regular clothes. That way that I can spend that time, and like if I have something with a stain, I can give it more attention, or the cloth diapers. But I mean, it's really not cold here that much, so. And I mean, and some ladies, like I said, in these cloth diaper groups, you get inspired, like ladies who live in really cold climates, they're like, I put my cloth diaper in the window and somehow the sun hit it and the stain still came out. And I'm like, wow. So, I mean, I haven't tried that, but I was like, okay, so.
That's cool. Okay, so let's go over lotions and shampoos. So you've totally changed this as well, right? So you do
Yeah.
natural. Okay, so what do you use for your, do you make your own soap? No, I just saw a post. You just made your soap.
Yes. So we just got into like soap making. So we did use like Castle soap and just like some natural soaps from like Whole Foods, things like that. I still use Castle soap and you mix coconut milk with it, and you can use that for your hair. But we just made these soap bars. Hold on. I'm so excited. So these are turmeric, cinnamon, and magnesium soap bars, and it's really exciting. It's not too hard to make. We got a Castle soap base on Amazon, and then you melt everything and you mix it together. And I want to say it took like 2 hours for them to blend, like to harden. Right. And then you just cut them and that's it. And then we also got some lye recently, so we'll be doing like all the science experiment soap making in a minute here. But I mean, it's actually like really fun projects, and just whenever we get time for it is when we just pick a day and we do it. And so it's like a fun thing. We all kind of get together and do something new. But yeah, it's really not so bad. And it's just nice knowing, especially like having Ezra, and like I said, he's developing that what goes on his skin, it's just natural. And I don't want to be rubbing like weird scents on him. It's turmeric and cinnamon, and it actually smells really great. The cinnamon does. So yeah,
that's cool. And what was I gonna say? I can't remember what I was gonna say. I was going to say something. Oh, no, I was going to say skin is the largest organ of our body. So
yes,
it actually absorbs quite a bit. So that's what I was going to say. I remember reading that somewhere. So yeah, I wanted to know that too as well. We're going to kind of get into cost effectiveness of all this. So Angela asked, do you find going natural expensive? If you had a limited budget, what 3 areas would you focus on changing over to natural first? Good question, because I want to know as well. And then if you have a mosquito spray recipe, can you share it?
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of 3. So the mosquito spray recipe, we had foraged some beauty berries and we combined it with cinnamon and I think rubbing alcohol. And then we just put them in these glass jars, and we've had them there for months now. And then whenever we go to use them, we just put them in like a spray bottle as well. And I mean, that's it. Sometimes you gotta like put a little more than if you use like chemical stuff, but I don't know. It's worth it. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else in it, but I'll see. I'll try to make a note if I could. I'll try to share a post on it. But then let's see, in terms of changing over to natural, I mean, I would say a big thing would be, your food, because I mean, that's even going to affect how you feel, the energy you have to, oh, there's my husband responding, put towards your home. And so, yeah, definitely doing as much as you can with food. I mean, something like sauerkraut, I was intimidated initially to make it, but it's just, saltwater brine and some cabbage, you just mash up, and it's not so bad. And it's really cute seeing Ezra. He helps me when I'm like mashing the cauliflower, the cabbage. So it's also something that, we try to like teach him as well. Like, hey, this is fun, like natural living. And I would say as well, in terms of if you're on a budget, like I didn't switch over everything at first. Like when I wanted to switch over the dish soap and I was doing a bit more thorough research, I wasn't just like, okay, throwing my dish soap out the window, because, you know, we got like a big amount. And I know that some resources out there will tell you like, just throw it out. You don't want that. But you know what? I mean, we're on a budget here. You know, we have to use money on other things. So we were just like, hey, we're just going to go through that dish soap. And then the next round, okay, we got the new, you know, Sal Suds. So, you know, just trying to accommodate, you know, where you can. And there's like a lot of ingredients too, like coconut oil you can use in like various areas. So having things like that on hand and, you know, keeping it as simple as you need to be able to switch over things, I think is really important. Like maybe don't do all the ferments, just do sauerkraut, you know, maybe just do, you know, coconut oil for lotion, or, you know, whatever you need to do.
What do you use for lotion? Do you buy natural? Do you make your own? Because lotion is one thing that I use a lot of.
Really, I'm not really a big like lotion person. I don't know. I have like I use like shea butter or coconut oil, especially when I was pregnant. So like sometimes if I'm feeling dry, I'll use that. But that's like the big thing, just like oils or like jojoba oil, anything like that is really what I use. I don't use like lotion per se, but I do make a diaper rash cream for Ezra, and it uses shea butter, coconut butter, and things like that as well. And if I wanted to use that, that's also something that could be like, you know, you can mix together and it's pretty friendly for your skin. I don't know, maybe it's our climate. I just don't get so dry. I don't know.
Climate. I get super, super dry in the winter. It's very, very dry in our home. We have like electric heat. So I have to use like that really thick Eucerin cream. I don't know if that's
Okay.
but like the really thick stuff. So yeah, I'll have to get that from Nicole. They said she has a great lotion recipe.
Ooh, share with us. Yes.
I need that. But to the shampoo, what do you do for shampoo?
Yeah, for shampoo. So I can use that same soap because it has castile soap in it. So it's based on that. And then also I've used castile soap before, just by itself, diluted with water. And I really like using castile soap and coconut milk mixed together. It just smells really nice. And it does still, you know, get bubbly in your hair. You can also do an apple cider vinegar rinse, and that'll make your hair really soft, and jojoba oil as well for like maintaining your hair, like caring for it. But my friend Brianne, I think you know her, she has a channel, The Braiding Baptist, and she has a lot of content on hair. And so since we hang out, I learned a lot from her about hair and, you know, doing different hairstyles and caring for hair that way. And that's actually where I use that shampoo. Learned that shampoo was from her.
So the conditioner, see, like I'm a big conditioner person too. I feel like I have to have conditioner. So you just use the oil that you mentioned then?
Yeah, the jojoba oil, you can use that. Yeah. So, and that's it. And I mean, you know, you can do different things as well. Like some people do like avocado, like mash, you can do in your hair. There's the apple cider vinegar in your hair. And I've also recently heard you can do that for your feet as well. If you know, you have cracked feet, or you just, you know, need some maintenance, you can do that as well. I know normally the apple cider vinegar, you do it and then you rinse it off for the hair. I know the feet, you like soak them in. So I don't know, it might not be like the Bed Bath and Beyond scent you want, but you know, but it's good for you. So yeah, I don't know. I do stuff like that, just use like oils and stuff. And I guess someone had said you could use olive oil too. So that's nice.
Yeah. And then deodorant. Someone asked about deodorant.
Yeah. So I've been trying to find a better recipe for deodorant. And we actually recently got the supplies to make it. And it's similar. It's like shea butter, coconut oil, but it has like some other ingredients. So we haven't made our own yet, but we just try to use like, you know, ones that don't have aluminum and things like that in it. So once I make that, I'll for sure share on it. My sister's really into natural deodorant. So I've been trying to get from her, like, you know, you just have those that like either it burns you, or like I've tried some natural deodorants before and you know, Louise had to break it to me that they weren't working. So, you know, so I'm just kind of careful because I'm like, you know, I want to look nice for him, smell nice. And it was like, yep, are you trying that new one today? Like, so.
No, I've used in the past, I've used Lume, I think it's called.
Oh, I've heard of that one. It's good.
Yeah, okay. It did not pass the airplane test.
Oh.
Like anytime I fly, I'm just like a hot, sweaty mess. And so it did not pass that test at all. But like just day to day living, it's not bad. But I feel like I need something more when I'm like running around. So if you find a good one, well, definitely let me know. And I can't do any with baking soda. They tend to irritate really, really badly on me. So the arrowroot, something with arrowroot powder might be better because I noticed that you wrote that down.
Oh yeah, I use arrowroot powder. You can use it in place of baby powder. Baby powder, you know, has talc and, you know, all that stuff in it that's not good for you. And just use arrowroot powder. You can use it for cooking. You can use it for, you know, your body as a baby powder, or even for like babies. But yeah, you can use that. The recipe has that in it as well. And I think, I want to say it has zinc oxide. It's something different that I have to get. But my sister said, I mean, she's been using this for years, and she was saying like, yeah, you know, it doesn't burn you or anything. And that's, I think, what you're thinking, like, oh, or it really works, like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never tried the Lume. That's interesting. And I've seen someone commented on natural crystal deodorant. I've seen those at Whole Foods, but I was just kind of nervous because, you know, you get into natural living and there's like some like hipster stuff up there. And I don't know, you know, hey, Luis, I'm putting the stone under my arms. Like, I don't know how that's going to go over, but I mean, so I don't know, maybe.
Angela asked another good one. I love her questions. Do you use natural feminine products? Do you purchase or make your own? I've got a house full of girls and I hate the idea of all those chemicals in traditional pads in such a sensitive area. And that is true too, because a lot of women can have female problems from the toxicity in those feminine products. So I get mine from Walmart, but I just buy the kind, I can't remember what, it's in a red and black box. It's supposed to have no toxic stuff in it. But do you make your own or?
Yeah, that's actually something that I'm also looking to. I get I'm trying to think of what the brand is right now. It's Elle. Elle is the brand, I think. It's like, just like, anyways, it's natural. It doesn't have, it's kind of like 7th generation. So that's the one I get at Walmart. And then I also get 7th generation, but I've been looking into using like cloth-based things as well. In the area, because I already cloth diaper, so it's not so hard. Now, I did recently try, you know, this isn't as luxurious as buying cloth pads, which I want to, but there is, if you look up on YouTube how to DIY a cloth pad, you can use like a tube sock and then you kind of make your own insert with like different materials and stuff like clothing. And I mean, it works. So if you really wanted to do it, you can do it. It's not so great, but I was like, I'll give it a go and see how it is. I was more trying to see like, how hard is this going to be to clean? I don't know. It's just different. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know Jennifer Bay. She's really into it, and I had learned a lot from her stories. And I want to say she got hers from Clean Botanics. Yeah, and so I was looking on that website to, you know, maybe get a variety and see, because yeah, that's really concerning as well. And like, it's just something we don't think about, but it's kind of like, that's like a sensitive area, and you know.
Exactly. And then she also asked, are there products you feel are worth buying versus making your own, either because of cost or time involved making them?
I don't know. I can't really think of anything that I buy that I don't feel like I couldn't make.
Right. Well, Sarah just said making cloth pads can be super time consuming unless you're really skilled.
I don't know. You know, I'm still learning about sewing, but I'd be willing to give it a go. I mean, I just don't know. I've also seen some people, you know, for cloth diapers and stuff, you can reuse materials, like even like, you know, blankets or curtains or whatever from the thrift. And I guess it could be time consuming, but maybe it could just be like a fun project. Like, ooh, I'm making some cloth things. So, I don't know. I guess that would be something that I probably wouldn't make right now because I don't know how to. Um, I haven't gotten too far in my sewing machine, but I have threaded it. So we're making progress. But right now I have a lot of pending, like, I don't know, things to fix. And I want to make an apron and thing that I probably would just purchase at this time. And then hopefully once my skills get better, I would do that. But I mean, I don't know. Even my ferments, like now, I used to buy all the probiotic capsules, but I was like, this is really expensive. And now that I've learned to make them and I'm like less intimidated, I'm like, oh, this is a lot cheaper just getting cabbage and fermenting it. Like, I don't know why, I'm wanting to learn canning as well. So that's another reason my husband got me, well, he gifted me the shelves, they built it and stuff. So that way I can get more jars and get into canning. And I think initially, like I've been watching some videos and I am a little bit intimidated because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I think once you do it, then you'll be good to go. You'll be like, this isn't so hard as I thought. So I think you can really do a lot. And a lot of times, like getting the really good quality things when it comes to natural are a lot more expensive than just, try some different things at home. And since you're home, if you want to try that deodorant, at least try it on a day you're home. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's worth it, but maybe try a different one when your husband gets home. But, for the moment.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we kind of talked about cloth diapering a little bit. Now let's because I know we're getting close to 8, so I can't go too long because of my baby. But let's talk about ways to make it affordable, ways to make natural living affordable. So you put on here that you are able to get discounted items sometimes. Where do you find those?
Yeah, so I would say definitely the thrift store. Like I said, I didn't even imagine I could find these nice glass jars there. And also, I recently got like a stainless steel spatula, and it was just 75 cents. So yeah, I mean, and compared to like sometimes you'll get it, and even if it's $5 or $10, I mean, compared to 75 cents, it's a lot cheaper. So I definitely have been getting more into thrifting to save. And then we also have a meat market nearby, and you can get a big pack of chicken for about $20. And we have a chest freezer, so we just freeze it. So that's another way to, save. Look for meat markets in your area, get to know like, small stores like that. And another thing I want to get into, which I haven't tried yet, is organ meats, which are really good for you. But that that you can find at the meat market, but I'll let you know how it is. You can live through me.
Mom made me eat liver one time when I was a kid. She made me eat it, and it was so gross, and I've never forgotten it. And so the thought of eating, it just grosses me out.
Oh, it's really good for you though. So I don't know. I'm willing to try it. I mean, I have a garlic honey ferment right now that it caramelizes the garlic in it. So when you're feeling sniffly, you can go ahead and just consume the garlic like that. But prior to having this ferment, which is still going, if I feel myself getting sick, I just have raw garlic. But I just have a mentality where I'm like, I know it tastes bad, but I'm doing this to not take, Robitussin or whatever. So I think it's just for me, like, I just kind of go all in. So, but I'll let you know if I figure out a good way to make it. Some ladies have a lot of tips. So, but yeah, looking into meat markets, or like you split a cow, right?
Yeah, we split a half a cow. Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
Yeah.
We'd like to do that as well, like split a cow or split a pig or something like that. And that's another way to save as well. I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, I like to, like for the I got some stainless steel bowls recently. From the thrift, but I kind of like to, if it's not something urgent, so like I had plastic bowls prior to that and they worked. I wanted for my bone broth, I wanted things that I'd feel comfortable when they're hot, and so I kind of just, whenever we went to different stores, I would actually send myself pictures of the prices just to kind of get to know like, okay, what's a good price, and to like look at different stores. And then I was thankful to find them thrifting, but if I hadn't, I would have gone to like whatever the cheapest store was or whatever the cheapest source was. So sometimes just like if it's not urgent, it's not something really consumable and stuff like that, I would just, maybe wait and think about it. And then that way you can really see where you can find the best prices, and also try to connect with people in your area. There's like local groups on Facebook for my area, and even like the farmers market. Like I try to get to know the farmers, and sometimes they'll give you a deal on things, or that's how I got my SCOBY. Just like connecting with a lady in my area, and let's see what else. I also try like to save money in other areas. So like we have our water filter on our faucet. And so when you change your water filter, it's just like, okay, let the water run for 5 minutes. But I got to thinking one day, and I'm like, wow, that's like 5 minutes worth of water just like going down my drain. And so I was like, I'm just gonna put my stock pot under there, and I filled the whole stock pot with water, and that went to my plants and my animals. And so I think just little things like that as well. Thinking about things like that, like saving money, or turning off lights, little things like that, so that way you can invest in other things as you can.
Right. No, those are all great ideas. Now, do you think it's worth it having any memberships to these places where you can buy in bulk?
Yeah, we have Costco and Sam's memberships, but we still find it worth it in terms of the meat, like for the quality, and for the price. And then a lot of times too, there's other things like office supplies and things like that my husband's able to get. In terms of natural living things, we do get our coconut oil at Costco because that's where I find it's cheapest. But basically coconut oil and avocado oil are my favorite like high heat oils, and it's where when you cook on them, they're not going to heat up and have carcinogens that wouldn't be good for you.
Right.
But my husband, as an example, doesn't like eggs in coconut oil because it has like that taste. Yeah. So recently we were looking into seeing if we could get lard online, but just in bulk, and like flour as well. I have an einkorn sourdough starter, but we were like, what, maybe if we can get more of just, organic, just like King's Arthur or anything like that, but we can get more of it than that. We'll, right now I'll just have a regular starter, but save some money that way. So just trying to like, hey, if I can't, like I did einkorn for a minute, and then I was like, okay, I'll probably still have einkorn on hand, but like sourdough baking with it can just be a lot. So seeing where it's like, hey, I'm still going to do something healthy, but maybe it's just a different variety, or, saving money in the areas that you can. So
right. Those are very, very good ideas. Now, do it yourself natural things. So cooking from scratch, obviously buying organic. Are you able to buy all organic or not?
No, I mean, we try to do organic when we can, especially for things like, like the Dirty Dozen and things like that. But we just try to, save money. Even when you go local, like sometimes if you're purchasing from a farmer and everything, and like, maybe the beef isn't organic, but I mean, sometimes they go through so much stuff to even be organic, where you're like, even if I get it local, it's going to be more natural than like the conventional store. And so we just try to do like, the best we can in terms of what really needs to be organic, like what has a lot of pesticides on it. I know some people do like veggie washes and stuff like that. But we just try to focus on maybe doing more like from scratch cooking and things like that.
Yep. And then are there any conventional food products you would tell us to avoid no matter what?
I would say things with high fructose corn syrup are like a big like no for me. Yeah. So definitely like if you see that on there, it's just a no. And then also just there's so many seasonings out there, and so much that you can do with herbs for your food. So I feel like sometimes when there's like where there's like that caking agent, they put in some seasonings, or I saw at a local store they actually sell MSG just like by itself, and I'm like, that's wild. Like I'm not putting that on my food. So I would feel like things like that I would really stay away from. And I really feel like the things like if I'm gonna mop my house, I wouldn't use Fabuloso, but that's okay. I used to use Fabuloso, but I would just, it's not too bad. Like I would just try to use Castile soap and things like that, just because I feel like that, like it smells your whole house. So then I feel like I'm like breathing that in the whole time. And,
Probably not. Yeah.
you know,
No, you've inspired me. I'm gonna go look on Amazon. Big old thing of Castile soap and a big
yeah,
old, what was the other one that you mentioned?
salad suds.
Yes, that's. I'm gonna look for that. Now, what about dishwashers though? Because we have a dishwasher. I have to be careful because I just bought it new, so I don't want to ruin it. Is there anything natural you can use in dishwashers?
We tried to, so we don't have a dishwasher here, but when we had our apartment, we did, and we tried to do, it was like some kind of like baking soda combination for like the little capsules. But I have to say, I maybe that's something I would just say to just get your best option at the store, unless someone has a better option. Because when we did try that like natural one for the dishwasher, I felt like it still left a film on the dishes, and then you're like rinsing them later, and so I just feel like it wasn't as effective as just like, well, let me just get the best ingredients I can. And I don't know. I did use vinegar to like clean my machine just, every once in a while, just like to air it out. And that's, you can use vinegar in so much stuff, like that's good.
We do use vinegar a lot. I'm always buying the big old like 5-gallon, whatever it is, or
Mm-hmm.
gallon, I don't know. Abby's always telling me to buy vinegar because she would use it in the dishwasher a lot. So I know Chanello, I'm the same. She said, I kind of love the smell of Fabuloso though. See,
Yeah.
good.
I mean, hey, it does smell clean. You go to someone's house, they have it, it smells clean. Like vinegar. So I used to do a lot more things just plain vinegar based. People do like put your scraps in vinegar and like, spray it everywhere. But it's not a great smell either. So between me trying that deodorant and then Luis comes home, there's vinegar everywhere. I mean, it was just a rough time. He's like, what's going on? Like, so, that's why I was like, let me just try Castile soap. It's just, soap, but some people that works for them. Or I would try like, if I was using more vinegar products, like, or even now, like, if he's out showing houses, then I'm like, okay, well, let me just go ahead and do all my vinegar things, or, so things like that. But yeah, they're better scents sometimes. That's why I like Castile soap so much with essential oils, because it doesn't have that scent. So,
my husband doesn't like the smell of vinegar either. And he come home, I can smell you. He'd be like, I can tell you've been, cleaning with vinegar. We're about to get laminate hardwood in both the kitchen and the living room. So would you just use a little bit of the water? Could you use the soap in that as well? Just a little bit of it, or not? I mean, what would you use on laminate hardwood? Do you know?
We have hardwood. We don't have laminate. We have hardwood and tile. Now I don't use like the mop bucket, you fill it up with water and everything. I don't tend to use that. I really just end up spraying it. I mean, it might be like another minute, or I just really wring out my mop. We have the O-Cedar mop, just because that way you're not using as much on it. I just try to go really light, just because it's good for the maintenance of the floors. Like you don't want it going in the pores and stuff. So maybe just use less, or if you have like a little spill, then just spray it there. But yeah, trying to keep it dry as much as possible. I would think you could use the same thing on laminate. But you can always dilute it more if not, or like I said, just put less of it, and then that way it should be fine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We've had carpets, so, but we live in the country, things get dusty and they just track in dirt. Like the carpet just gets destroyed because they're tracking dirt in on their feet, and my kids run around barefoot outside. So
yeah,
it's really bad. So I need to get something like that. But yeah, I would like to use lavender oil, essential oil in it. I think that would smell good. So, and then KJV Disciple said we have found Bronner's liquid Castile soap at Walmart. They also have a store brand. Look in the beauty area where the special bath things are. So.
Oh yeah, they do have it at Walmart too. The Dr. Bronner's. I haven't personally seen the big gallon one. I've seen like, I don't know, it's like a quart or something. Like it's bigger, but I haven't seen a gallon one. So I kind of also like it because it's, the bigger you get it, a lot of times you save. And if it's in like the cleaning section, the gallon one, I try not to go there so much, like the one where it's like all the cleaners, just because it smells so much with like all the combination. It just ends up being a lot. But you could get that. I haven't tried the store brand, so I don't know.
where could you find the recipes for some of this stuff? The soaps, the lotions, shampoo, what you do. We should probably have you do a blog post about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to share more on my channel and on social media. I have a lot of recipes that I'm like have pending to share. So I'm going to try to be sharing more. You know, a lot of times I just research and, you know, I combine different things I see, or like I said, I'm always watching like YouTube videos. I really like Mary's Nest. Have you seen her channel? Oh yeah, she's so sweet. She's like an older lady, and I don't know, she's just really sweet to watch. And then she just talks about like natural living and especially like traditional foods. And so I feel like anyways, I learn a lot of stuff from her, and there's other channels. So yeah, if you stick around, like look on my socials, I'm gonna be sharing more of the recipes and things that I use. So
yeah, so let's talk about your channel. So it's pure, go ahead, Brother Luis, can you like post it, do another comment under your channel? So definitely follow her, watch her stuff. So what is your content going to include on your channel?
yeah, so my content is on joyful homemaking, traditional motherhood, and Christian lifestyle. So I really like to sing. So I want to continue to share that. Like I sing hymns and I'm like cleaning my house, and just kind of like enjoying even the process of, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm not perfect in cleaning, but hey, I'm just enjoying like learning and, you know, taking care of my family. And hey, there's dirt on the kitchen floor, but you know what? My son's building his immune system, and just kind of being an encouragement to other mamas like that. And I know I also get to learn from ladies too. And then, yeah, just sharing on like the recipes, like the cloth diapering, I'd like to make a video on. I would like to make more content on exclusive pumping as well. Just sharing kind of how my journey was. And I know that's something that some people are like, well, I'll just do formula, just that's it, because I can't you know, breastfeed directly. But you know, just, you know, it's worth it. It is time consuming, but it's and hard work, but it's definitely worth it to do, and it's just so good for babies. So yeah, I'll definitely be sharing on that. And then this week on Thursday, I'm going to be at 8 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. So the same time as this. I'm going to be chatting with my friend Karina on indoor plants. I don't have any indoor plants, just outdoor. So I kind of want to learn more as well from people who, you know, have more expertise in some areas, and, you know, kind of see, like, I know I heard cactus can be really good for like radiation, and, you know, we have Wi-Fi everywhere. So yeah, I don't have all those like gadgets for your phone and stuff, but I'm like, if I can put some plants in here, I mean, you know, so.
I'll totally listen to that because, and it's so funny. My daughter Chloe, she's my one that loves plants and loves garden. She has her little garden and all this stuff, and she has lots of cactuses in her room, so she loves cactuses. But yeah, that'll be really interesting to listen to. So definitely check out her channel. Follow her on. Do you have a page on Facebook?
Yes. So I'm everywhere Pure Fun Life. On Facebook in particular, I'm Pure Fun Life Luis and Raquel. But everywhere else I'm Pure Fun Life. So yeah, but if you go to my YouTube channel, it has my link tree in my about, and then that has all my links.
That'll be the easiest way then. Look it up that way. So all right. Well, thank you I'm going to have you on eventually again. So to pick your brains about some other things, but you've got me like inspired now.
Oh, yay.
Switch some of these things over. You've got me inspired, so I love it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. Make sure you like it, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. I enjoyed having you, so look for her eventually again in the next few months. I want to have her back.
Thanks so much. All
right, so hang on, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the live, and then I'll chat to you for a minute more. Bye guys.